Hello folks, we are going to have a little bit of a rhythm snowball fight today, which should be lots of fun. Included in the rhythm would be ta, ti, rest, toe, and ticka ticka. All rhythms that we're familiar with, but the rhythms do come at you kind of quickly, so you really have to be ready for them. It's kind of like our rhythm of the day, but it's extra tricky because you don't have time to practice. You just have to kind of go through it, right? Let's do this thing. All right. Oh, they're throwing snowballs. Here you go. Ta, ti, ti, ta. To, ticka, ticka, ta. Now there's going to be more rhythms. Here you go. Ticka, 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 toe. Now we have a little break. Ready? Ta, ti, ti, ta. Now they're throwing it again. Ti, 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 ticka, ticka, ta. Ready? Ticka, 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 ticka. Throw your snowballs, people. Throw them, throw them. Here you go. Toe, ticka, ticka, ta. Ticka, 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 ticka. Ready, aim, throw, people. Throw the snowballs. More rhythms are coming your way, people. Here you go. Ta, ticka, ticka. Toe, ticka, ticka. Throwing snowballs. I am really not good at throwing snowballs. Okay. Ready, go. Ti, 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 ticka, ticka, ta. Ticka, 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 ti, ti, ta. Last time throwing the snowballs, people. Nice work. How'd we do on the rhythms? Pretty good, I hope? I hope you got in some good snowball fighting too. Nice job, you guys. Okay, fourth grade folks, I have a new song for you, and it's an old song from a long time ago. It's a song called Sweet Betsy from Pike, and it's kind of fun. It's fun to sing, it's fun to listen to, and it tells a bit of a story. So it's about the gold rush and the Oregon Trail. So gold was discovered in California in 1848. So that's a long time ago, folks. By 1849, thousands of Americans rushed to California to seek their fortune. They wanted part of that gold, right? Some, like Betsy and her husband Ike, so they're the main characters in our song, they traveled in covered wagons to get there. The trip was long and hard. Settlers faced many dangers and they risked their lives to travel west. Right? They were so intent on getting that gold, they would risk everything to go across the entire country. Think of how huge the United States is. And they're not driving in cars, they're driving in wagons with horses. Okay, so the main thing that we're going to be looking at and listening for with Sweet Betsy from Pike is verse and refrain, okay? So verse and refrain, they're pretty much parts of every song you're gonna hear on the radio, okay? The verse is a section of a song where the melody stays the same when it repeats, but the words change. So the verse, what I like to think of the verse as, is telling the story. The melody of the verse is always the same, but the words change because it's telling us what's happening in the song or what the song is about. The refrain is a section of a song that's sung the same way every time it repeats. So if you think of any song on the radio, there's always a part of the song that repeats every time. That's usually the part of the song that we always think of first because it comes back to it all the time and we know how to sing that part. The verse is trickier because the words change all the time, okay? So as we listen to Sweet Betsy from Pike, we're trying to discover where the refrain is, the part that keeps coming back, and which part is the verse, okay? So I'm going to go like this, ya da da da, hi-ya. Okay, and I'm gonna do it again, hi-ya. And yes, the sound effects are very important. Okay, so here's Sweet Betsy from Pike. It's kind of a sad song because Betsy and her husband Ike go through a lot of really hard stuff, but the way they present it is kind of in a funny way almost. So it's very, very interesting. All right.
Oh, don't you remember Sweet Betsy from Pike? She crossed the wide prairies with her husband Ike, with 2 yoke of oxen, an old yellow dog, a tall Shanghai rooster, and 1 spotted hawk. Toorally, toorally, singing toorally, toorally, toorally.
That was the refrain part.
One evening quite early they camped on the flat. 'Twas nearby the road on a green shady flat. Poor Betsy, quite tired, lay down for repose, and Ike sat and gazed at his pipe county rose. Toorally, toorally, singing toorally, toorally, toorally.
Now there's more of the story.
They soon reached the desert where Betsy gave out, and down on the sand she lay rolling about, while Ike in great tears looked on in surprise. Said Betsy, get up, you'll get sand in your eyes. Toorally, toorally, singing toorally, toorally, toorally.
Let's see what happens next.
The rooster ran off and the oxen all died. The last piece of bacon that morning was fried. Poor Ike got discouraged and Betsy got mad. The dog wagged his tail and looked awfully sad. Toorally, toorally, singing toorally, toorally, toorally.
Oh, notice it's changing, it's slower.
The alkali desert was burning and hot, and like he decided to leave on the spot. My dear old Pike County, I'll go back to you. Said Betsy, you'll go by yourself if you do. Toorally, singing toorally, toorally, toorally. They swam the wide rivers, they crossed the tall peaks. They camped on the prairies for weeks and for weeks. Fought hunger and rattlers and big storms of dust, determined to reach California or bust. Toorally, toorally, singing toorally, toorally, toorally.
Okay, so you may or may not have been able to read the words from where you are with the camera, but the story goes that, you know, they go through all these terrible, terrible things, and Ike, Betsy's husband, wants to leave. When we had that slow verse, that's when everything had gone so badly, and Ike was like, I'm going back, I can't go any further, and Betsy said, no way, we're still gonna do this. And we don't actually know, they don't officially tell us if they made it, but we're gonna assume that they made it to California. Now, did you notice what part kept coming back? Toorally, toorally, singing toorally, toorally, toorally. That kept coming back, in between verses. So it's kind of a nice break in between this story. So you have little chunks of story with the refrain in between. And so my challenge to you would be next time you're in the car or next time you're listening to music, really think about that. You know, what is the refrain of this song? What part is always coming back and what part changes throughout the song? So there you have it. And it even says up here in the music, it says refrain, because that's what it is. It's the part that usually everybody sings together. Sometimes a verse can be sung by one person and then the refrain is sung by a whole choir of people. Sometimes it works like that too. So there you have that, Sweet Betsy from Pike. And I'm gonna go, let's see, I hope it's on this one. Aha! Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so this is the journey west, kind of like what Betsy and her husband did, okay? So I'm gonna click on each of these numbers and it'll give us a little bit of information about this. You can see how far they had to travel, okay? So number 1, settlers used wagons pulled by teams of oxen to go west. They also needed cooking gear, 150 pounds of food per person, extra shoes and clothes, soap and wash tub, ground cloth and blankets for sleeping, tools, guns, ammunition. Supplies cost about $200 per person, which, I mean, $200 is a lot of money now, but $200 way back then would have been a lot of money. And they put all of that stuff inside a wagon just like this. That's a lot. That was one full wagon, okay? Let's see what's next. The trip west on the Oregon Trail began at jumping off points. Settlers could buy supplies in these places and join a wagon train. The trip would last at least 6 months. So think of an airplane, you can cross the country in like 5 hours. But these people had to take 6 months. Trains couldn't leave, wagon trains couldn't leave until the grass was long enough to feed the animals. So they had to wait for the right time to go, which is pretty interesting. Okay, let's see. Crossing rivers could be dangerous for travelers. The Platte River, which was a part of the song, was extra hard because its bed is quicksand. Ooh, that sounds bad. Even skilled guides could not be sure where the rapid current flowed. Wagons often broke and had to be left behind. Eek. Okay, let's see what else. California settlers left the Oregon Trail at places like Lander Cutoff. They tried many routes, but all of them were difficult. The settlers had steep mountains to go over or around before winter. They also had to cross deserts and more rivers to reach California. I mean, think of our country. The United States isn't just one nice little flat thing that you can just walk across. There's rivers and mountains and deserts and all these things that these people had to cross. Okay. In Utah, routes to California often turn north. Instead, some settlers, like Betsy and Ike, went west around the end of the large Salt Lake. The Salt Desert was completely flat from wind and rain. Tough oxen and plenty of water were required to cross the desert. Wow, crossing the desert sounds kind of terrible to me. So crossing the desert, that was the part when Betsy was feeling so sad and Ike was like, oh, you'll get sand in your eyes if you stop here. Okay, In Nevada, settlers faced more desert land. Much of the rain or snow that falls in this area evaporates or flows into sinks. This creates dry and alkali ground. Travelers from Missouri, like Betsy and Ike, were not used to such harsh terrain. Right? So if you live in one place all your life, you're not used to all these weather changes. Like if we moved to Arizona, Arizona is so much hotter than here, right? It would be a big adjustment. That's what these people had to go through. Deserts were not the last of the hard travel. Betsy and Ike had to cross the rugged Sierra Nevada mountains to reach California. Without oxen, they probably left their wagon behind. So if you leave your wagon behind, then you've got nothing, right? The trails were lined with wagons and possessions that settlers were forced to abandon. Okay, so they just eventually, if they couldn't cross, they had to leave their wagon and just go by foot, which makes it even harder. Oh my gosh, these people were really brave. Okay, By 1853, the California gold rush had ended. However, settlers looking for new homes continued to migrate west. The California Trail was the most used of all the routes. When Betsy and Ike reached California, so they did make it, woohoo, they may have visited a land office to buy their own farm. So once they got to their destination, then they have to figure out what they're going to do. Are they going to buy land? Are they going to go and find gold? It was hard to converse and refrain with Sweet Betsy from Pike. Thanks for listening, everybody. So there. Alrighty, people, I have something fun for you. It's also going to be a bit of a challenge. This is a body percussion thing, but it's a little bit more challenging than some of the other body percussion stuff we've done, so prepare yourselves. But it's going to be fine. It's really just fun. But this is a song called Sleigh Ride, which when the music comes, you're going to definitely recognize it. And yes, I know that winter break is now finished, but we're still absolutely in winter. In fact, winter really just started. So this still kind of keeps us in that wintry feeling of going on a sleigh ride. Now, you're going to see on this kind of miniature screen, you're going to see body percussion pictures and rhythms, kind of showing you what to do. I'm also going to be doing the movements with you. The tricky part is some of it is stomping, which obviously, whoops, that was my email, which obviously you can't see because you can only see my face right now. So, but there are some stomps that happen. Now, there are two kind of things that I want to teach you before we actually run through the song, okay? The first one is really easy, and it happens several times during the song. It's a pat, clap, snap, clap. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you do it with me? 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It happens a lot. So if you get that part, you're actually going to be able to do a lot of the song, okay? There are some parts that are really easy. There is one challenging section that moves fast, okay? And it's when we get to the part of the song where it's ba-da-dum bum 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 ba-dum ba-da-dum bum 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 ba-dum. Okay, so all you have to do is you're doing head first, then shoulders, then knees, then stomp. And there's 2 of each. So you do clap, head, head, shoulder, shoulder, knee, knee, stomp, stomp, clap. So you're starting and ending with a clap, and you're going from high to low, okay? So one more time, it looks like this. Clap, head, head, shoulder, shoulder, knee, knee, stomp, stomp, clap. Down one more time, and a clap, head, head, shoulder, shoulder, knee, knee, stomp, stomp, clap. Of course, naturally, it goes a lot faster than that. It's more like ba-da-dum bum 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 ba-dum ba-da-dum bum 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 ba-dum. It's like that, okay? People, if you don't get every bit of it, don't worry. You're gonna catch on, and you'll be able to do some parts of it, and if you can't do all of it, it's fine. And this nice lady over here, she's doing it with you as well. So you can watch what she's doing, watch what I'm doing. You could focus up here. It's all good, okay? It's gonna be fun. Let's do this.
Are you ready? Here we go. See if we can get it all right.
Whew. All right. It starts with snaps. Snap. 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 Ready? Snap. 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 Now here's that main part. 1, 2, 3, 4. You got this. Keep going. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it's gonna change. Clap, 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 to the fast part. Ready? Tap, head, head, shoulder, shoulder, knee, knee, stomp, stomp. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bum, 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 stomp, stomp. T, 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 stomp, stomp. T, 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 stomp, stomp. T, 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 T. Back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. T, 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 stomp, stomp. 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 This is the hand jive, by the way, if you've never done this before. Now we're back to our main thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're doing great. Clap, 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 clap. Da 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 dum, da 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 dum, da 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 dum. Clap, 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 clap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ba da 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 dum, ba da 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 dum, ba da 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 dum. Back to the same old. We got this. Ooh, it's gonna change in a second. Hand jive. Bum, 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 bum. Back, 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 back. Rest, rest. Stomp, 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 stomp. Sleigh ride. Whoo! How did you do? Eh? I don't know. It's okay. It's okay if you messed up a lot. But like I said, it came back to that part a lot of times. So if you could get that, you actually got a lot of the song. Nice job, you guys. Okie dokie, folks. So I hope you enjoyed your first lesson of 2021. Whoop, whoop. And for your assignment today, if you go back to my Bitmoji classroom, you will see that there are some new composer pictures in the composer corner. And so your job is to watch 3 different composer videos, which are all very cool, by the way. There is Claude Debussy. He wrote music in the very early 1900s and very late 1800s. There's a really beautiful song called Clair de Lune that's on the piano, really pretty. Let's see what else. There's a song by Aaron Copland, who wrote a little bit later into the 1900s, so he's a little bit more current. And he wrote a song called Hoedown, which you may very well recognize. You will enjoy it, I bet. And the last one is, the example that I'm giving is kind of funny. It's called The Barber of Seville. And the instruments that you're going to see played in that video are really interesting. It's called a melodica, which I had never heard of before. But it looks like a little piano keyboard, but then there's this like pipe attached to it that you blow into. I feel like it's kind of like an accordion, you know, an accordion that you push back and forth. It's very much like that, except instead of pushing back and forth, you're blowing into it. So it's kind of a funny, interesting video, but I bet you will recognize The Barber of Seville as well. And then there's an attached Google form that you can fill out with just basic information about your favorite video and stuff. Okie dokie. I hope you enjoy your videos and have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.